I'm offering free 20-minute consultations to anybody who signs up for the mailing list. So all you need to do is go down into the box below, click the link, enter your info, and I'll send you an email to schedule. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Only darkness when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. I wonder this time where she's gone. I wonder if she's gone to stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. This house just ain't no home anytime she goes away. So Bill Withers, who wrote that song, was born with an alignment of the sun, the moon, and Saturn. And this song is almost a perfect translation of sun, moon, and Saturn into something. The beautiful thing about astrology is that it's not just a personality typing system. Astrology is really a way to uncover these beautiful relationships that exist in creation and through consciousness. And when we learn to really taste each of the planetary archetypes and really feel what it's like and sense it on a vibrational level, then it unlocks this whole new mode of perception for us. And so listening to a song that conveys an astrological aspect like this can go so much further than just cracking a book and reading a list of definitions. But of course, to learn it, we gotta understand those definitions a little bit. It's part of what we're here to do in the video, but it's more important to feel it. So think about it. Sometimes you feel good, sometimes you don't. Sometimes the sun is shining, sometimes it isn't. Sometimes you feel good because the sun is shining, and then when it goes behind a cloud, you don't feel quite as good. So just like the sun in the physical world, the astrological sun is the bringer of light and life. When it is shining, we feel good. We have energy, right? We are vital. So the sun is all about that influence, that spirit that comes and animates everything. And when that's gone, life just isn't worth living. So now the other definitions of the sun that come through, like identity and purpose and will, these are all kind of descending from that, right? When we have energy for our incarnation, we can shine, we can be a center of existence, we can be somebody. So that's how that all works. But ultimately, it's just that influx of spirit and basic life force energy. But now balancing that is the moon. And the moon is more about soul. The moon's more the inward dimension of things, the receiving end of the spectrum. And if we're only running on solar energy, we'll burn ourselves out. It's wonderful to be gassed up in that way, but it burns hot. And eventually we dry out and we cook ourselves and we're done. So the moon is there to nourish us. This is why the moon connects to basic things like mothering and the family and the home and sleep and nighttime, because this is where we go within and recharge and restore ourselves. Basically, the sun can't shine without the moon. And always we're oscillating back and forth between a more solar side of ourselves and a more lunar side. And some of us will tend to lean more heavily on one than the other, of course, depending on how our chart is laid out. But ultimately, we want to bring these things into a perfect balance. And that's the whole alchemical equation, right? By balancing the sun and the moon, the masculine and the feminine, the light and the dark, the outer and the inner, the yang and the yin, we find the middle path. We unite all opposites and we become whole, right? So let's think about how it goes in this song. I mean, there are levels of kind of meaning that we can read into this, right? If we think of the sun as spirit and the moon as soul, this song is almost talking about a loss of soul. It's like when she's gone, right? When my lady soul is gone, the spirit goes as well. I no longer have the juice for life. And of course, on the more mundane level, which, is how we're more likely to listen to this song, the moon classically relates to the feminine. So ain't no sunshine when she's gone, right? Now, let's think about how Saturn plays into this, right? Because if this were a Sun-Jupiter alignment, it would be a different story. We wouldn't be talking about her being gone. We'd talk about how great it is when she's here. But Saturn is the planet of negation, the planet that says, you can't have it. It sticks the pin in the balloon. It can be like dead weight. So, all too often we will relate to Saturn as if it's this big drag. And the fact is that we mostly don't come into life able to handle that energy well. Saturn is like your parents telling you to tie your shoes and brush your teeth and pick up your room when you're a kid, and you're just like, I don't want to. And that's often the way we relate to Saturn. It's like, this is what you have to do. Well, I don't want to. So, on a very simple, kind of basic level, we could read Sun, Moon, Saturn as an astrological bad mood. It's like, we want the sun to be burning brightly. We want the moon to be getting what it needs. But when that doesn't happen, we don't feel good. We have neither energy nor do we feel nourished. So that's one reading of Sun, Moon, Saturn. And it's a reminder of the importance of balance in our lives, right? See, Saturn is not just about making things hard. Saturn says something needs to be done here. So what is it in your life that makes her, the soul, go away? Are you working too hard? Are you trying too hard to move toward a goal? Are you too fixated on what you know and what you identify with? This is all solar stuff. Sometimes you need to go within. Sometimes you need to take a break. You need to rest. You need to play. You need to be with the people that fill you up. That's all lunar stuff. And Saturn tells you, hey, look at the parts that you've been missing. Look at what you've been neglecting and take care of it. And this is why Saturn's all about, in the end, it's about discipline, right? Just doing the things that Saturn requires, as we find through trial and error of life, doing the things that Saturn requires will get us what we ultimately want. In some ways, you get Saturn right and everything else falls into place. So now I want to play another song of Bill Withers. Oh, before I do that, I just want to point out one thing that my partner pointed out to me, which is pretty awesome. His name is Bill Withers. So think about it. What happens when Saturn gets you down and you can't get what you need and you're not nourishing your soul, and so the spirit dries out and you're just like this worn out husk? Well, you wither. So how about that? Astrology. It's unbelievable, the layers of connection that it can uncover. All right. So now, Bill Withers' other most famous song, Lean on Me. Another very Sun, Moon, Saturn song, but this one with a more optimistic bent. So I'll play it and then I'll talk about it. Sometimes in our lives we all have pain. We all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you to carry on, for it won't be long till I will need somebody to lean on. So here we have the great example of Saturn Moon, first of all. Saturn Moon can give somebody a depth of experience and a way of processing that experience where you're willing to go within, you're willing to feel what it is that you need to feel. Of course, it's not necessarily going to happen that way. Saturn Moon can very often correspond to pushing feeling away, right? Closing off your heart, putting a wall around your heart so that nothing gets in. But, as always, if we relax and assent to Saturn's demands, which in this case is inner work and introspection, then there's a depth and a maturity and a kind of gravitas that comes with our experience. And, you know, here, a Saturn Moon person is somebody who has experienced pain and experienced suffering and processed it and come through with a deeper understanding of life and an ability to empathize more with people and to be a kind of support to people. And what's great about this song too, there's this beat in it that's like boom, and it's very Saturn, right? It's got that kind of weightiness to it. And so solidity, groundedness, weightiness, something you can depend on, very Saturn. Now to bring the sun in, first of all, I am somebody that you can lean on, right? That I am sense, that's the sun, right? And even the line, when you're not strong, right? One of the classic ways that a Sun-Saturn thing can show up is through weakness, a sense of the life force being diminished. So this is a beautiful kind of integration of the whole thing. I mean, in these two songs of Bill Withers, we have one end, which is that loss of soul that can come through, that sense of being cut off from nourishment and then just drying out and withering. And then on the other end, that sense of like, well, no, I've gone through it and my roots have sunk deeper and now I get what I need and now I can shine in a new, better, deeper, or beautiful way. So I hope that at this full moon, you kind of can absorb this lesson and think about it from both of these sides. Think, where in my life am I losing soul? What lunar sides have been neglected in me? Where am I drying out? Where am I pushing too hard? How can I recharge and restore myself? And then how can I move forward as a person who's integrated and brought these sides of my nature together, and somebody who can be both inner and outer, deep and high, and all of that, and somebody who can be there for other people, and who's willing to go to other people if you have the need.